guys, do you know what math tool I have up on the screen right now? That's right, it's a number bond, and we've used a lot of number bonds this year. Do you remember what we call this circle right here? The whole. And what does whole mean? All of them. Very good. So this is where we put all of them together. Now you'll notice that there are two lines coming out of the whole because we can break our whole apart and we can put the parts in these circles down here. So we have the whole thing and then we have parts. So our whole can be broken into parts. So right now, what number do you see up in the whole? 8. We have an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there are a lot of different ways that we could break this 8 apart. So I could put one of them here, and then I could put the rest of them in the other part. So what did I break the 8 into? I broke it into a 1 and a 7. So 8 can be made of 1 and 7. Very good. Now let's see if we can think of another way to make 8. What if I put 2 over here and the rest over here? Now what have I broken my 8 into? I broke it into 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 can also be made of 2 and 6. Those are other parts that are hiding inside of 8. Let's see if we can think of another way. What if I put 5 in this part? What do you think the other part's going to be? 3. So we can also break 8 into 5 and 3. Very good. Can you think of any other ways that we could pull apart 8? What if we put 4 of them over here? What do you think the other part would be? The other part would be 4. So 8 can also be made of 4 and 4. We call that a doubles fact because it's the same part. 4 is the same as 4. That's a doubles fact. Oops. Let's see if we can think of another way to make 8. What would happen if I put all of them over in this part? If all 8 of them are over here, then how many are in the other part? 0. So we could also break 8 into 8 and 0. Very good. Let's put them back in the top. So when we break numbers apart, that's called decomposing. Can you say decomposing? Decomposing. That's breaking numbers apart. Very good. So let's say I put 3 over here and I put 5 over here. What are my parts? My parts are 3 and 5. Very good. And what's my whole? My whole is 8. Now, what if we wanted to put these parts together? What kind of equation would we need to write to put them together? That kind of equation is called addition. Can you say addition? So addition is when we put parts together so that we have the whole thing together. So addition is part plus part equals whole. Say it with me. Part plus part equals whole. One more time. Part plus part equals whole. So what would the addition sentence be to put these parts together? 3 plus 5 equals 8. Very good. Part plus part equals whole. Very good. Now, we can also use a number bond to help us with subtraction. So when we do subtraction, we're taking a part away. So addition is putting the parts together. Subtraction is taking one of the parts away. So this was part plus part equals whole. Subtraction is whole minus part equals part. So if we have 8 and we take away the 5 part, what part would be left? The 3 part. So if we had 8 and we took away the 5 part, we would have our 3 part left. 8 minus 5 equals 3. Very good. Now, what if instead of taking the 5 part away, what if we took the 3 part away instead? So we had 8 and we took the 3 part away. What part's left? 5. If we have 8 and we take away the 3 part, then it would be the 5 part that is still there. Very good. 8 minus 3 equals 5. Now let's go back up to this addition. Earlier, we did 3 plus 5 equals 8. Watch this. What if I switch it so that the 5 is over here and the 3 is over here? Our parts are still 3 and 5, but they've switched order. So now it's 5 plus 3 equals 8. It's still part plus part equals whole. We just switched the parts. Do you remember what that's called? The commutative property. Very good. Now let's take a look at all these equations over here. Do you notice anything? I notice that some of them have plus signs and some of them have minuses. So we have addition and subtraction. Do you notice anything else? They all have equals. Do you notice anything else? They all have a 5. What else do you notice? They all have a 3. Do you notice anything else? They all have an 8 also. So they all have 5s, they all have 3s, and they all have 8s. But the numbers move into different spots. Like right here, the 5 is over here, but then he's over here, but then he's over here, and then he's over there. Look at the 3. There's a 3 in every equation, but the place in the equation, it changes where it is. So all of these equations have the same numbers, but some of them are addition, some of them are subtraction, and the numbers change what spot they're in. Since they all have the same numbers, they're all related to each other, and we call this a fact family. Can you say fact family? Fact family. Say it again. Fact family. Say it again for me. Fact family. It's a family because it's the same numbers over and over again, but they're being used a little bit differently each time, but they always keep those same 3 numbers. So we call that a fact family. The addition is putting the parts together to get the whole, putting the parts together to get the whole. Subtraction is starting with the whole, take part away, and the other part's left. So addition, put the parts together. Subtraction, you have the whole, you take a part away, and the other part's left. You have the whole, you take one of the parts away, and the other part is left. Notice, subtraction always starts with the whole. Say it with me. Subtraction always starts with the whole. One more time. Subtraction always starts with the whole. When we do subtraction, we always start with the whole. We take a part away and the other part's left. Great job today, guys. Now go work on your fluency page.